am I? I don't remember much. I mean, last time... Oh, and the camera's here. Hey guys. I'm confused. I'm a little discombobulated, if you will, because last time I was here in front of you, I was indoors. It must have been a dream, because I remember Hector was there, and I was a little scared and terrified, but that couldn't have been real, because I remember him falling off the fucking bridge. If you click the link above, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh my God! Holy son of a serrated bead, me while I'm sleeping, stick corns, a cob up my ass, and don't feed me for weeks type of fuck.
In the flesh.
How are you alive?
It's because I'm a beast.
I'm serious, I was there.
Yeah, and you tried to kill me.
Not me, I didn't do that. It was that curly-headed
Oh yeah, Chester.
Once again, if you hit the link above, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Why am I outside, though?
Because there's fights this weekend, duh.
Just like that, putting me back to work, eh? Cool, yeah, friends forever.
I guess.
Yeah, bromanship. Hi guys, we're back! Which I'm obviously, if you see the look on my face, I'm so ecstatic about.
Get your ass back to the table.
I will! I was just Well, since Hector's a straight-to-the-point type of guy, we're just gonna get straight to the point. We have free fights this weekend in Fortaleza, Brazil. And it's a UFC Fight Night. Doesn't cost any money. Order the channel if you don't already have it, you cheap sons of f***s. And we're gonna start off with a welterweight clash between knockout artist Lyman Good, and he's pretty good, against Demian Maia. So out of these two fighters, obviously we could say one thing. We know who Demian Maia is. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, but it's against new #1 contender in Kamaru Usman, current interim welterweight champion in Colby Covington. Don't even try to it's confusing as hell. And current title holder, where Demian Maia tried to fight for the belt against Tyrone Woodley. He has fought every single person who's who that you could possibly think of at the 185 and almost all of them at the 175 division. Nate Marquardt back in the day, the questionable GOAT Anderson the Spider Silva, the current welterweight champion of Bellator in Rory McDonald. And his jiu-jitsu is right there at the top, and that's what differentiates him from a lot of these fighters. There's one thing that currently just really stands out when we talk about Lyman Good, and that is his knockout power. But in terms of the resume of guys he's fighting, it's Lyman not so good. Am I right?
Not even close.
Oh, okay. Man, I missed you.
Put your arms down.
Now, this fight to me is really easy to break down, and the reason why I'm saying this is because obviously styles make fights, and we know that Demian Maia is boring as hell, and we know Demian Maia's game plan every single time. He's gonna wait for you to attack, which Lyman Good is guaranteed to fucking do. He's gonna run right at Demian Maia. He's gonna wait for that one shot, try to time it correctly, and grab a hold of you and not let go and take you to the ground and suffocate you. Lyman Good, he can fight on the ground, but is he great? Not even close. I think he has like 2 submission victories in his last 20 fights, and obviously he doesn't need to do that because he's been pushing the pace and taking it a decision, and obviously knocking out his opponents, like in his last bout against Ben Saunders, knocking him the f*** out. But once again, these resumes don't even compare. Ben Saunders is the biggest name that you've heard on Lyman Good's fight career. It comes to as simple as this. I think that first round is gonna be where this fight ends, and it's gonna be Demian Maia, or else if Lyman Good's gonna go in there and take his time, which I do think he should, it's gonna be a really boring fight. But I see this Lyman Good running at Demian Maia, trying to throw those strikes, maybe throwing one out of like anger, because this is his first top contender that he is fighting in Demian Maia. He's gonna miss because he's gonna throw wildly. Demian Maia is gonna grab him, take him to the ground, and end up getting that submission victory by the end of the first round. Now, when we go to the co-main event, this is a fight by itself. That what we talk about could easily be on a pay-per-view event. And why is it not? Not even close to fucking sure. But this is one of the very few fights where Jose Aldo is not on the main event, and he is going up against current featherweight top prospect in Renato Moicano. Just some food for thought as well. Food just gets me excited, you know?
You're not eating.
You know, I understand. Now that you're back, I get it. This might be one of the very few times in Jose Aldo's career, which was literally the best featherweight of all time, has been an underdog, which for me is questionable. I mean, his last 3 losses, okay, were coming in a short period of time, I get it. But they were against Max Holloway, the current featherweight champion, twice via 3rd round TKO. So it's not like Max Holloway had a very easy fight there. And of course, that 13-second fight against fucking Conor McGregor, which really doesn't prove too much in my opinion. We've seen all the top grades get knocked out real fast, and then in the rematches, come back and end up taking the other opponent out. Would that have happened? I don't know, and we're not here to talk about that today because that fight's not even happening. Now, in his last fight, I had him losing against Jeremy Stephens, but boy, was I wrong. He came out and finished Jeremy Stephens in devastating fashion, something that I did not think he would be able to do. Now, Renato Moicano also has a victory over Jeremy Stephens, but it was in a split decision. He could not finish Jeremy Stephens, which means that even Jose Aldo, maybe he's getting into his old age, at least in terms of career fights and the MMA world, he still bears significant power, and his striking technique when he's on, when he's focused, when he doesn't let his ego get ahead of him, is second to none. His leg kicks are devastating, some of the best, if not the best leg kicks in the game, and he's got crisp boxing as well. Not to mention, this man can fight on the ground, but this is not a fight where he wants to keep it on the ground, because Renato Moicano, although he's good at standing up as well, this is where he loves to be, is on the ground, and that's where I think Renato Moicano wants this fight. Yes, I know he lost to Brian Ortega, which was the previous featherweight contender via submission, but his last win was against top contender again. They're all top contenders, me. And Cub Swanson via submission. He loves that submission game. And when you look at his career, that's all you see. Submission, 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 decision, which you know you have a good gas tank, so you can go 15 minutes or 25 minutes if needed be. He has hardly any knockouts on his career at all, where you look at Jose Aldo and he can do all of those things. He doesn't really like to use his submission game too much. He does love to go for the knockout and take it a decision, and he's got an amazing gas tank in doing so. The one thing that we can guarantee is this fight is going to be fireworks, because Jose Aldo would not allow it to be anything but. I think it's going to be a very, very tactical war. A lot of striking, of course, from Jose Aldo, keeping that distance with his leg kicks. That's what he's going to have to do. Maybe work those body shots as well. Kind of scaring Renato Moicano for trying to take it to the ground. His strength is definitely going to be to stand up, which is eliminating all the great tools that Renato has and just taking him out on the feet. I don't think this is going to be over in the first round. I think it's going to be a little bit of a war, but I can see Jose Aldo either getting that late second or early third round finish with a TKO or winning this by decision. If I'm going to have to bet it, if I had money, I would say that Jose Aldo wins this fight via unanimous, one-sided, brutal beatdown of a decision, and that's what I think is going to happen. Now, when we go up, the title eliminator bantamweight match between Marlon Moraes and Rafael Sansão. The winner of this guy is going to go up against TJ Dillashaw, the current bantamweight champion, which he's coming off devastating TKO loss against the flyweight champion Henry Cejudo, but that's a story for another day. Damn it, I hate being wrong. Also, not to mention, this is a rematch with Rafael Sansão getting the better of Marlon Moraes in their first appearance just a few years back via decision. Since then, he's rebounded back with fantastic victories, with his first being against John Dodson via decision, his second being a knockout against Elijah Sterling, and his third, his latest, being a knockout against what everybody thought would be the future bantamweight champion of the UFC, Jimmy Rivera. That says a lot. Man, Marlon Moraes might pack the most power at the bantamweight division. Yes, Cody Garbrandt, that means you too, buddy. Rafael Sansão, he's a grinder. His last loss is coming against the current bantamweight champion in TJ Dillashaw, which beforehand he had also beaten prior. Rafael Sansão loves to get in there and grapple, take it to the ground, use his wrestling, his ground and pound, his jiu-jitsu, something Marlon Moraes is very good at as well. Also, Rafael loves to strike. He loves to bang. Just 2 fights ago, he put Matthew Lopez to sleep with a devastating knockout punch. So we don't know where this fight's gonna go. Well, really, I don't know anything. All I can do is assume based off of the facts that are presented to me. But the one thing I do see is Marlon Moraes puts 100% of his power into every single strike that he goes for, where Rafael Sansão, he's more of a striking tactician, likes to take his time, likes to pick his shots. Not that Marlon Moraes doesn't like to pick his shots, but he is more the aggressor, and sometimes that could be to a fighter's demise, especially with an elite, I mean an absolute elite MMA artist such as Rafael Sansão. Rafael Sansão is so sure of himself that he's going to be the next in line for that title shot and eventually wearing that new strap around his waist, which I'm not sure if I'm totally fond of the new belt, but we'll get to that another time. This is going to be a 5-rounder. If I'm going to paint a picture, I see Marlon Moraes going out there and tiring himself out in that first round. Maybe landing some big blows against Rafael Sansão, but I think Rafael's durability is amazing and could be slightly a little bit better than Marlon Moraes's. And Marlon Moraes is obviously going to have it in his head that Rafael Sansão beat him, and Rafael Sansão thinking the reciprocal that he beat Marlon Moraes. So this is going to be a more of a comfortable fight for Rafael Sansão. He knows what he's getting into. He knows what to look out for, and it's pretty straightforward to see what Marlon's game plan is, and that's just to use all his muscle and his anger and his aggression and try to put Rafael Sansão in the first round. And if he doesn't, it could very well be to his demise. I think that Rafael Sansão is going to wear Marlon Moraes the f out and take him out probably in the 3rd or 4th round. I do see Marlon Moraes getting gassed out and Rafael submission in the 3rd round. So that's it, guys. Fortaleza, Brazil. I wish I was there now because I'm fucking frozen and I got hypothermia and the big escape, Big Daddy who fell off the bridge and landed on his neck and is questionable why he's even still alive is back in my life. So we can say one thing for sure. I hate everything about life right now.
Oh, you do ya?
No, I'm just kidding. You're absolutely lovely. I'm not kidding. I can't get away from this motherfucker. Food for thought, buddy. When you were gone, I was much happier. And I put my nutsack right on Bonnie's cellophane chin. Huh? So why don't you take that to the bank, buddy?
Or you can take that. Oh, I forgot.
You don't learn. How many times did I tell you? I can't die.
Doesn't mean it's not fun.
If you stop, I'll give you a back rub for 5 minutes tonight. Good?
Yeah, sounds great.
Deal. See you guys later.